The Prophet Musa Story, Part 2. Bani Israel were scared. The army was at their backs. Prophet Musa knew Allah would save them from attack. The Red Sea lay before them. No one knew what to do. Allah parted the sea for them, so they went through. When the last foot of the last man came onto the sand, the walls of water broke, and then they slammed down onto the army of the Fir'aun suddenly, and Fir'aun began to ask Allah, "Please forgive me." But it wasn't in the plan of Allah that day, because in the fire is where Fir'aun will stay, his body washed up and visible to us all, a crumpled corpse where there used to be a man tall. You'd think that the Bani Israel would have learned, but deep scars block the mind of a slave. Sometimes nothing can change what is in the heart, not seeing miracles, prophets, or your own grave. Prophet Musa led his people by some mushrikeen, and instead of being proud to be Muslimeen, they wanted to bow down to idols, to be kafireen. No love in their hearts had they for the righteous deen. They even wanted the food that they used to eat, even though Allah had sent them a special treat of tasty manna and quails in numbers. The Jews wanted lentils, onions, and cucumbers. Prophet Musa cracked a rock, and 12 springs gushed out. Each tribe of the Bani Israel had their own spout. They were commanded by Allah to attack a town, but all but 2 men turned Prophet Musa down. You can imagine Prophet Musa needed help, to make him more religious and his heart strong. Instead of seeing Allah, he saw a mountain fall. He realized Allah's power and that his request was wrong. The Torah is the book that Allah gave to him when he was on the mountain for 40 days. Prophet Harun was left in charge of the people, but soon enough they returned to their old ways. Samiri, who was a troublemaker, collected from the Bani Israel all their gold. He convinced the people they needed an idol, and he made them a gold calf, a sight to behold. Whether by jinn working through it or by wind, this idol began to moo, and so they were convinced. Instead of making sujud to Allah and worshipping Him, they decided to perform together the worst sin. Prophet Harun told them they had better not worship this calf, that they really needed to stop imitating their former masters, the oppressors, and ignoring them, they were the transgressors. Prophet Musa came back, and he was very mad. He thought that his brother Harun had been acting bad, but the idol worshippers had threatened his life. They brought on themselves nothing but strife. Prophet Musa ordered the ones who had not done shirk to kill all the ones who had been performing this evil work. The mushrikeen among the Jews that day were all slayed. In their stubborn disbelief they would have stayed. 70 of the best of them were chosen especially. They were struck down by lightning because they asked to see Allah their Lord, but not to make their hearts strong. They were only jealous of Prophet Musa, and that was wrong. Allah forgave them all and raised them back from the dead, and Prophet Musa stayed, but they ignored what he said. If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. A man among them was murdered, for he was very rich. The one who killed him put the body elsewhere, at which the nephew started yelling, "Revenge for this murder!" People wanted a fight, but to Prophet Musa they referred. If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. The Bani Israel went to Prophet Musa to see what could be done. He told them to kill a cow, could have been anyone. If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. They didn't want to do it, to go peacefully through it, and Allah already knew it would take a long time for them to do it. "What kind of cow are you talking about?" they asked. "Not too young or old, so go about your task." If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. "What color are we talking about?" they stubbornly inquired. "Yellow. Why won't you do what is required?" If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. "But what else can you tell us?" Prophet Musa told them this: "It's not a cow that works, and it's not a cow you can miss." If they had just listened to what they had been told, they wouldn't have had to work so hard to get that cow of gold. They went out looking and found that cow. It had been specially looked after till now. A precious gift, so you tell me how. To sell it for a small price they would allow. The boy's mother refused, no matter the amount she was told, until her son suggested its skin filled with gold. They brought it, and they killed it and took a piece, touched the body, solved the crime, and he rested in peace. One day Prophet Musa gave a great khutbah, and was asked, "Does any man know more than you?" Prophet Musa told him no, because he was a prophet, and the one Allah gave the Torah to. Allah admonished him and told him there was one who knew more. He is at where the two seas meet, where the fish leaves the shore. But as they traveled along, the servant said, I forgot the fish. We can go back to where it jumped, if you wish. Al-Khidr was sitting there at the meeting of the seas, and Prophet Musa offered him a greeting. Prophet Musa told him that Allah had taught him knowledge, and he wanted to learn from him after their meeting. Al-Khidr said, How can you be patient with what you don't know? Prophet Musa said that he would really try. He thought that after all his work with Bani Israel, he was already a very patient guy. They traveled along till they got to a boat. The fishermen gave them a ride for free. Khidr ripped out a plank and made a big hole. Prophet Musa just could not believe. You have done a terrible thing, said Prophet Musa. Al-Khidr said, What did I tell you? Mine and your knowledge are like drops in the sea of the knowledge that Allah has. It's true. Prophet Musa forgot about his patient's promise, and Al-Khidr and he kept on their way, till they came to some boys playing on their path, and Al-Khidr killed one while they played. You have done a terrible thing, said Prophet Musa. Al-Khidr said, What did I tell you? Mine and your knowledge are like drops in the sea of the knowledge that Allah has. It's true. They traveled together till they came to a town. They hoped for food, but what they got was frowns. There was a wall nearby that had fallen down, and Al-Khidr fixed it, and Prophet Musa found that amazing and confusing. Why? He asked. You could have gotten some pay for your task. But Al-Khidr spoke before more time passed, and told Musa that this outburst was his last. The boat that I broke might have been stolen by a king, but you thought the whole time I had done a bad thing. The boy that I killed was such a horrible child, so Allah wanted to replace him with one pleasant and mild. The wall that I fixed was not a favor to the town, but Allah knew it belonged to two orphan boys around, and by the time the wall will again tumble down, they can defend their buried treasure, as they'll be big and strong. We wish Prophet Musa could have held out longer. We wish his patience was made just a bit stronger. But like Al-Khidr said, it's a problem we've all got. It's so. The Bani Israel gave Prophet Musa a hard time. They saw that he was modest and shy. They spread a rumor that he was hiding a defect, like a skin problem, because they couldn't see why. He would cover his body right up till he bathed, and rested his clothing on a stone. When he finished his bath and wanted to dress, Allah rolled his clothes away, leaving him alone. "Oh, stone, give me back my clothes," he called, as the stone rolled quickly away from him. It stopped in front of some of the children of the Jews, and it was made clear from his feet to his chin that modesty is a pure instinct. It shows your self-respect. You don't cover yourself because you have some defect. The angel of death finally came to him, but Prophet Musa slapped him hard on the eye. The angel of death went back to Allah and said, "This slave of yours sure doesn't want to die." Allah offered his prophet a few more years of life, as many as some hairs on an ox's back. But Prophet Musa's life was so filled with strife, he didn't want more years, he wanted to go back to Allah his Lord, and to wait for the last day that he will stand in front of all the Jews, representing the message that he tried so hard to teach, until Allah gives him tidings of Jannah, good news.